Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is I Love You Say It Back. It's a podcast. I'm your host, Vic D. Last show in July. Let's get funky. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, this is I Love You Say It Back. It's a podcast, and I'm your host, Vic D. Glad you're with us. Again, it's Thursday, at least Thursday morning, depending on when you're listening to this. And like I said, it is July 31st, which reminds me, actually, I got to do an update on my miles. Let me see. Today is the 31st. I've hit 100 miles ran every month this year, and I need 7.6. You can see right here, if you're watching on YouTube, come on, focus. You can kind of see it. 92.4. 92.4. I can break this down. Y'all are going to think I'm crazy, but I could actually break that down into two runs. So I'll run one tonight as the episode is loading and doing all that good stuff. And then I'll do another one before midnight. So, yeah, that's how we do it. I know everybody's like, how can you break it down into two? I can do it. I promise. I've been doing it every single month except one. There's 1 month where I hit, I don't know how many. I was short by 5, 6. I don't know. But I'm proud of these because they're just the hottest months. And in a weird way, I'm still scared. Still hasn't been that hot. We're going to get into all that. Gonna try to be tight with this episode. We've had a lot going on, personal life stuff outside of the podcast stuff. Just some stuff, stuff that everyday stuff that you kind of go through, and just trying to navigate those waters as best as we can with the entire family. And I'm sure I'll give you an update on that later, somewhere down the road. But right now, it's kind of it's been a really hectic week. So I even thought about. I was like, you know what? Should I even do a podcast this week? It was like, probably should push it back. But I figure I can come in here and spend a little bit of time with you guys. I just respect the time that you guys give to me, the people who tune in and listen, and I appreciate you. Which brings me to my next point. I apologize. Last week, I did not realize that I was recording in some weird ass, I don't know. I was messing with the camera, recorded in some weird ass, very dark tone setting. And I was like, I can brighten this up. I'll bring it back to life. It wasn't. So I apologize. If you're watching clips on Instagram or wherever you watched, they were dark and they were not very good. So I got it back to normal. We're good on that end. But before we get into the show, we have a lot to get into. There's things in life that are underrated, right? Things that we use every single day that don't get the love, don't get the respect, don't get the honor, but they're so vital. In other words, if you remove these things, you're going to feel it. So we're going to do the top five most underrated, little everyday things. And I'm not talking about your car. It's obviously that's a big thing that I think we all would appreciate. But top 5 everyday little things that don't get enough love. So we're going to do our top 5 of that. You guys gave me some good suggestions on that. What else do we got here? I think I'm too stupid to be offended by certain things, right? I think I've realized with the Sweeney thing, I think I'm too stupid to be offended. I'll tell you what I mean by that coming up here. High noons are recalled there were some Celsius cups or Celsius cans that had apparently high noon, which is actually kind of hilarious. And I have a funny story to go with that. You know what's cool? Breathing is cool. Breathing is fucking cool. Like that. And you may be thinking it's second nature. Yeah, you would think. I have a whole story about a new product I'm trying. And let me just tell you before anything, it's not a paid ad. They have no idea. I just saw it. I bought it and woo, amazing. But breathing is cool. So last episode, Hulk Hogan died maybe a couple hours after we finished recording. I just have one thing to say about Hulk Hogan, and we'll get into that. football. There's football today. There's football today, and you're going to be hearing a lot of football is back, and we'll talk about that. Got your fun facts here in case you didn't know. There's plenty of other things. So let's get right into it. And before actually we do, want to remind you real quick, if you haven't subscribed on Spotify, if you haven't subscribed on Apple, wherever you listen to the podcast, iHeart, wherever it is, it doesn't matter. Just hit that subscribe button. You'll get up to date with everything that we put out. So please jump on that. Same with YouTube. Please subscribe to our channel, and you can enjoy it on there. And I will say this, because somebody brought this up to me last week. They're like, because I did not post the episode because I thought the coloring was just bad. I was like, this is just not, it's not worth posting on YouTube at least. And they're like, hey, I kind of prefer to watch the audio, which I 1,000,000% understand. And it's also like a big reason why we try to be consistent on YouTube, where it's like some people do. I am a visual person as well. I like watching YouTube. But if you do watch on YouTube, I just ask you to do me a huge favor. Just go over to the listening on Spotify or on Apple, and just download the episode so we get the download, so we get the, just kind of build a collaboration. Then you can go watch it. Just help us out a little bit there. It's going to help the podcast. We want to grow. We want to do bigger, better things for you. So you can help us along the way. And I will say, we're coming up on 2 years. In 1 month, we're going to be doing a 2-year anniversary podcast. And that's crazy as hell. We'll talk more about that as we get into it. But let's get into the podcast this week. Fun episode. I was thinking about this. I'll tell you, there's one thing that I noticed in my life that inspired this whole thing. And I'll tell you what that is coming up here, because it is part of the list. So these are the top 5 most underrated little things in our lives, right? Again, this is not something big. These are just things that don't get the credit they deserve, don't get the love they deserve. And if you remove these from your life, you're going to feel it. You're going to be like, damn, I kind of wish I had that. Kicking us off at number 5, something everybody, or at least it seems like some way, shape, or form, everybody consumes caffeine. So I went with coffee. Coffee's the top one. I like coffee. If it's not coffee, I'm consuming some kind of energy drink, pre-workout. But the way it gets you just up and going, simply the smell of coffee is amazing. So coffee kicking us off at number 5. And think about, like, with all these, I just want you to think, what if you remove these? What if I said, hey, no coffee? Some of you motherfuckers get like headaches. They're like, I have a headache because I haven't had coffee. I'm not that bad, but there's certain things that I just couldn't get up for. I'm like, I don't feel motivated to do blank, blank, and blank. I don't get a headache, but some of you guys know exactly what I mean by that. So kicking us off, number 5, coffee. Number 4, think about this. We use it every single day, but does it get the credit, especially in Bakersfield? Deodorant. There is no replacement for deodorant. Put all the chemicals, put all the shit in. I don't like it. Pisses me off when they got these like, do you want organic deodorant that's good for your body? No, I want give me the shit with the chemicals. Give me what's going to keep me dry, smelling good. I don't care. It's put all the bad stuff in it. As long as I feel, it's not just about not smelling bad. It's also about like, you're not just trying to mask flavor. I almost said flavor. You're just trying to mask odor. You're trying to really like feel dry. Deodorant does an incredible job of that, and I don't care what's in it. Deodorant, number 4. Number 3. And I debated this one, number 3 or number 2, but air conditioning. Are you kidding me? I could not imagine living life without air conditioning. I made a promise to myself when I first moved out of my place, when I first moved out of my parents, I said the one thing that I told myself, you're just not going to go cheap on a couple things. When I first moved out, I told myself, I was like, damn, this electric bill is kind of high. I got to tone it down on the AC bill. And then I did, and I was like, no, I'm just not, there's like non-negotiables in my life. I'm keeping it 67. I'm keeping it 66, 68, whatever. It's going to be under 70 degrees no matter what. And if I got to pay a little extra, that's something I'm willing to pay for. I am not going to go home from work, from a workout, from wherever the hell I am, and dread being home because I want to save a couple extra bucks. It's just not, it's a non-negotiable for me. Air conditioning, comfort, sleeping. They say like the optimum temperature for sleep is like 64 degrees. Wrap yourself up in a little blanket, feel great. AC, non-negotiable. And I feel like I don't take it for granted, but sometimes we almost forget how good we have it with that AC. And then there's places like San Diego that don't even have AC because these motherfuckers think that they're like, our weather's so good we don't need it. Really? Because I was cooking last weekend or last time we talked. But we don't need to bring that up again. Number 2, and I wholeheartedly, oh my gosh. Again, think about life without these things. Number 2, lip balm. Lip balm. Think about life when you have chapped lips. Right now, maybe it's not so bad because it's hot outside, but think about during the winter when it's a little bit colder, when it's a little bit more dry out there, when it's a little bit more cold, and all you want is a little bit of lip balm. That feeling is absolutely insane, and I never want to live life without lip balm. Lip balm is one of those things that you kind of overlook until you don't have it, and you're like, what the hell am I doing? Shout out Kobe's. And number 1, this was the thing that inspired this whole list. I used it the other day. I got in my truck. I got in my Prius. I used it, and I was like, I don't know what I would do. I don't know what I would do without you. I talked about it earlier today on Instagram. Number 1, car chargers. I know, easy to overlook. Everyone's got them. We have it every day. Yeah, you have it every day because you need it every day. And if you don't think about a time, like, you know how much I rely on my car charger? And they're fast. These motherfuckers are fast as hell. I could charge my phone. It'll go from like 7% to like 33%, which is good enough to get me through whatever I got coming up next. If I need to go to the store, if I need to go record a pod, whatever it is, they work fast. They charge quick, and it charges something that's vital to us. I'll be falling asleep without charging my phone, and I'm like, I'll wake up with 12% battery, and then I'll just charge it on my way to wherever I'm going. Folks, in a 15-minute drive, in a 20-minute drive, in a 10-minute drive, I'm getting like 24, 25, 30% battery. Again, which is good enough to get me through whatever I'm going to do next. If it's a lunch, if it's a whatever. The other day, I went to go see my dad. I stayed over there and I forgot my charger. And I was like, damn, I got to go all the way back. They live far, blah, blah, blah. Long story short, I was like, wait, I can go charge my phone in my truck real quick. I was at like maybe 8%, something like that. I went out there and I just left it on there for about, I don't know, maybe 30, 45 minutes. I come back, it's like 77%. You don't think that's going to get me through the night? The other part is it's not only good for your phone, I used it to charge my laptop as well because they have the same, it's the C input. So I charge my computer, I charge my phone, I charge my, there's other things that you could use for the USB. There's like a car charger is absolutely incredible. And it gets you out of so many, pinches. Oh, I forgot. I fell asleep. I didn't charge my phone last night. That's fine. I'll throw it on the car charger. By the time that I get there, it's going to be at 15%. But it's a 20-minute drive, so I'll be at like 90. These things are fast. These things are great. And it could charge your headphones. It could charge your phone. It could charge your laptop. It could charge your camera. It could charge whatever it is. There's inputs. They got them. They're fast, incredible. Number 1, the whole entire list was inspired by that. Car chargers at number 1. And I just had a lot of fun putting this list together. I got a couple honorable mentions. I think I almost thought about doing like toothpicks and floss, but I was thinking about it. I was like, why didn't that make it? Not because I don't like to floss or use toothpicks. It's because you could find like replacements for it. I can grab like a plastic bag and just floss really quick and just kind of pull it and use that as floss. I can grab a string from a shirt. I don't know. There's replacements for these things. You know, if I don't have floss, it's not the only way I can do it. Lip balm, I'm not putting no freaking, I don't know. I'd think about a replacement for deodorant. It ain't gonna happen. Coffee, caffeine, AC, miss me with the swamp cooler. With the humidity is through the roof. I'm sweating more in this thing. I also thought about like remote control, very underrated. Think about like, I don't even know how else we would do it. The technology in a remote control is low-key kind of amazing. I still don't know how that shit works. I still don't know how a remote control knows when I'm clicking up and translates that through the computer. Some remotes are even like, they have like a little guide. It's almost like a magic wand where they're like, I want that. And then you just click on it. You got a point. It's almost like a game. Like, boop, 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 boop. Technology's been around for decades. Still don't know how it works. Actually, you know what? That's going to be a fun new, we're going to do that one next week. Top 5 things that we still don't understand how it works. Can I give you, we're going to put remotes. I'm writing that one right now. I already have another one. Let me write that down so we don't forget. That's going to be a fun one. So if you have any ideas, feel free to shoot them to our Instagram at ILYSayItBackPod. I'm at Vic T Radio. We'll take them on either account. So there you go. The top 5 most underrated things that we don't give enough love to. They just don't get enough love. Again, think about all these. If you removed them from your life, how crappy they would be. Smartphone was also kind of but I also kind of thought that was along the lines of a car where it's like, well, it's obvious. Smartphone is everything. It's a flashlight. It's your communication, text, call, email. Content creator, you use that for your camera, your memories, all the apps, your games, your boredom, your websites, your search engines, ChatGPT. I mean, just like phones are incredible. I almost feel like they're not necessarily underrated as much as the other ones. Let's talk about this because there's been some controversy with this Sydney Sweeney ad. I don't know if you guys saw it. She did an ad with American Eagle, and I said I was gonna pull it up. But long story short, it's she says something, I want to pull up. I just want you to hear it, and I'm sure you guys have already. The American Eagle ad, American Eagle jeans ad, 30 seconds.
I'm here to tell you to buy American Eagle jeans. And I definitely won't say that they're the most comfortable jeans I've ever worn. Or that they make your butt look amazing.
Yeah, they do.
Why would I need to do that? But if you said that you want to buy the jeans, I'm not going to stop you. But just so we're clear, this is not me telling you to buy American Eagle jeans.
Sydney Sweeney has bird jeans.
You see what I did there, right?
Oh, that's not the one. Okay, so long story short, the one that she was in, she said something about good jeans, right? But in the end, she's like, my jeans are blue, or like my eyes. And it got me thinking about something because I'm explaining it terribly. But the point that I'm trying to get to is I think I'm entirely too dumb to be offended by certain things. And at first I was upset. I was like, wow, what did I miss? I was like, I'm too stupid to even realize. And I watched the ad and then I was like, wait, like, this is when I knew it was outrageous. I was like, wait, what part was I supposed to be mad at? What part am I supposed to be offended at? And that's when I knew. I was like, I'm gonna have to be reaching if I'm gonna pretend to be offended by something. I went back and I watched it, and I was like, either I'm too stupid, or I'm too naive, or I'm too ignorant, or I'm too whatever it is to be offended by something that I watched and I was not initially offended by. There's things that I'm offended by. Don't get me wrong. I can see some of the bullshit that's going on in our country, and I can be like, yeah, it's a bunch of bullshit. But that is clear and evident against certain people. This I watched and I was like, yo, if you're telling me what part I have to look for if I have to watch something and be like, oh, you watch it? No, nothing? Okay. This is the part that you're supposed to be mad at. Then I was like, I'm too stupid to be mad at a Sydney Sweeney because I didn't get it. I had to watch it. And then I was looking for this part. I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to be offended about something. And then I watched it and I was like, damn, I missed it. This might not be the right one. Maybe I watched the wrong one. I went back and I watched the one that they posted on Twitter, on X, whatever you want to call it. And I was like, and I watched it and I was like, oh, this is what, I was like, I was almost kind of embarrassed to ask. I was like, wait, what part am I supposed to? I thought it was kind of clever. I was like, blue jeans, blue eyes, I don't know. I've seen a million commercials, it feels like, that talk about blue jeans or blue eyes and, all these things. And I thought about it and I was like, you know what? If I am too stupid to be offended by something, I was like, it's kind of a sweet place to be. If I have to watch something and I was like, yeah, not bad. She's hot. American Eagle jeans. I don't know. I don't know any guy who wears really American Eagle jeans. You put Sydney Sweeney, I really don't care. If I have to watch something, I have to be told to be offended by it, miss me. Again, maybe I'm too stupid, but I'll be honest with you, kind of a sweet place to be. Kind of a sweet place to be like, I'm not offended. I don't feel anything for that. I'm too stupid to be offended by the Sydney Sweeney commercial. And frankly, I'm not that mad about it. Like I watched and I was just like, I'm not sure what part. But I feel that way about a lot of things. I feel like if you have to reach for something, if you don't initially watch it, I'm not saying there isn't bullshit going on. I'm just saying if thousands of people can watch it and be like, cool. And then other people say like, no, watch that again. Look over this part. And then it's like, they're telling you could be offended by anything. You could pull something out of anything. And frankly, if you get offended too easily, this probably isn't your podcast either. I know San Diego's not a big fan of us right now. Saw the download numbers down. San Diego, not great. We do great for some reason. It's kind of cool in Los Angeles. Los Angeles, Sacramento, San Jose, Oregon does well. Just kind of random. But yeah, not that offended, or maybe I'm too stupid. Either way, I'm not that upset about it. Let's get into your fun facts. In case you didn't know, I got questions about this one. In case you didn't know, the world's longest fart, ladies, a fart is like gas coming out of a guy's butt. Girls don't fart. The world's longest fart was 2 minutes and 42 seconds. In case you didn't know. Here's my question. Did some guy eat something or feel this and said like, hey, babe, this one's special. Start the clock. Bring out the timer. Bring out the stopwatch. And he was just for 2 minutes. Are you kidding me? Ladies, a fart is really like a relief thing. It feels incredible. When you have a couple second one, I could not imagine. This guy must have gone from like literally, he must have looked like he was probably like 6 to 7 months pregnant and then probably had a 6-pack by the end of this thing. Girls, I know you don't fart and I know you can't relate to this. And I know most of our audience is women. And I try to talk about things that are relatable to you. But this, I know you don't fart because you're perfect, sweet angels. But let me tell you, farts feel good. A couple seconds feel incredible. I could not imagine what a 2 minute and 42 second fart would feel like. All right, incredible. In case you didn't know, this one was interesting. Asking someone to do you a favor, in other words, asking your friend, hey, can you grab this? Can you pick up this? Asking someone to do you a favor can actually make them like you more. It's called the Ben Franklin effect, in case you didn't know. And finally tonight, in case you didn't know, your belly button is full of thousands of bacteria that form an ecosystem as complex as the rainforest. In case you didn't know, those are your fun facts. In case you didn't know, every time I think of the rainforest, I think of, was it last year? No, it was 2 years ago. I went to the Redwood National Park up in Northern California. And I just remember I was talking to someone. I go to these places and I'm by myself most of the time. So I'll talk to strangers. I'll talk to anybody who's willing to have a conversation. And they were telling me about how the rainforest there is like, it builds its own ecosystem. The reason why it's so gloomy, and so it's like the higher up you get, the more rain. They literally call it a rainforest because the trees are so damn tall that even if they were to feed from the bottom, the water never reaches up. So therefore, what ends up happening is they need to eat from the top. So how do they get water at the top? Well, they create their own little ecosystem that's going to create the rain so that the trees could eat and survive. Isn't that incredible? Maybe that's just the tree nerd in me, but I thought that was amazing. It's like, well, yeah, how do these giant redwoods, some of the tallest trees in the world, survive? Well, they don't survive because someone's watering them at the bottom just with a little water hose, with a garden hose. No one's giving it a super soaker in here. Here you go. They create their own ecosystem, which is why if you go to like Northern California and all these places, it tends to be more, that's why they call it a rainforest. Tall trees, they need to eat. They're too tall, the water won't make it all the way up. So they eat from the top, or they drink from the top. It's incredible. I thought that was absolutely fascinating. I'll never forget it. And every time I hear rainforest, I think of rainforest, I think of the Amazon, and I think of Northern California and the giant redwoods up there. So shout out to whoever told me. I don't know who told me or where, but I remember it was I felt like that's incredible. What else do we got here for you? Okay, so listen to this. Today, Thursday. If you're listening to this on Thursday, you're gonna hear a lot of things like football is back. Here we go. Football is back. We made it. It's like, shut the fuck up. Let me break this down for you. Football is back today, Thursday, July 31st, 2025. Football is back today, and then it's gone again. There is no football is back. The hype will be back today. There's going to be a little bit of live betting. There's going to be a little bit of Trey Lance, the Chargers. I don't know who the hell they're playing, but I know Trey Lance is playing because I'm already going to be betting on it. But the point that I'm trying to get at, there's hype because we haven't had actual football on a square TV where teams that you actually recognize, I'm not talking about that spring football bullshit. There's going to be football teams, the Chargers, and I should have looked it up. I don't know who's playing. Hey Siri, who's playing Thursday Night Football tonight?
The Cowboys battle the Eagles on September 4th.
That's September 4th. Whatever. See, that's how irrelevant. Siri won't even pick up tonight's game. It's a Hall of Fame game. It's a preseason game. Is there excitement tonight? Yes, because it's the first time in a long time that we're going to see football on our screen with real announcers that we recognize on a national TV program. All that stuff, good and well, absolutely. Football is back tonight. But to sit here and pretend like we made it, football is back, I'm not going to be excited about football again until that game that they just talked about. The Cowboys and the Eagles, Thursday Night Football, game 1 of the regular season, because none of you give a damn about the preseason. You may care tonight, again, because it's a new feeling. It's like, oh, I missed it so much. It's exciting. Yes, here it is, finally. But football is back tonight, and then it's gone again. Football is not officially back. Football is back tonight. So don't let these corny ass motherfuckers want to be like, yeah, we made it. Football is back. Tell them you know what you can tell them? Shut the fuck up. That's my shut the fuck up of the week. Anybody who says football is back. Anybody who says football is back today. Shut the fuck up. It is back for today only, but not until the regular season will we care about it again. It's just the cold hard facts. Listen, Vic, you're just mad because you're a Steeler fan. Maybe to me, maybe I am a little bitter because I'm not that excited about football season as far as my team goes. I don't have expectations. I know how this movie's going to go. I know exactly how this is going to go. Steelers are going to be above 500. Steeler fans are going to be like, yeah, I've never had a losing season. Look, we're so good. Shut the fuck up. That's more of a shut the fuck up. Maybe it's a bitter fan of me. Who knows how this, are we going to sneak into the playoffs? Maybe, maybe not. There's a chance I would rather not make the playoffs, to be honest with you, than get booted in the first round again, get a worse draft pick. I've just seen this movie, 8-9 years in a row? And I just don't understand any Steeler fans who say otherwise. Like, what are you trying to do? What is your end game? The only way to get better at quarterback is to draft one. Nobody's giving up their great quarterback. We got Aaron fucking Rodgers at 41 years old. This guy's on a geriatric program. Aaron Rodgers, Grandpa Rodgers. Hell, let's see what we can get out of this guy. I'll tell you, not much. Paid too much for that guy. Paid too much for DK. Oh, and then we're going to go and get better by getting Jalen Ramsey. Okay, I kind of see it. But then we're also going to give up our all-pro safety and Minkah Fitzpatrick. Like, what is it? It's like we can never go all in and be good without, like, we're going to make an addition, but we're also going to subtract an equal amount just so we don't get too good. I'm pissed. I'm sorry. So maybe that's a little bit of what it is. But anybody says football, anybody who tells you today, football is back, you tell them, right, shut the fuck up. Football is only back for tonight. For those, not even 3 hours. You only excited like pregame into like the first maybe quarter. And then after that, I guarantee you won't care about it again until Sunday Night Football, Cowboys and Eagles. Then football is back. Until then, you're just being corny. And I can't wait. I've already started seeing it. Football is back. Pisses me right off. What else do we got here? It's good. It's good to be with you guys. I'm gonna be spending I've been spending a little bit more time with my family lately. As I talked about at the top of the podcast, we've had some things come up. I mean, life is life, And like I said, I'm sure sooner than later I'm going to give you an update on everything that's going on. But until then, like I said, I contemplated even coming in to do this. And I will also say, no, I'll save that too, because it sucks. It's not fun thing to talk about. Was that it? Was that all we had? I know we had a shorter show today. We didn't. I'm going to forego Wednesday wisdom this week. Oh, Hulk Hogan. That's the one that I wanted to talk about. Like, he passed away literally a couple hours after we finished recording last week. And I didn't have any real thoughts, like whatever. Hulk Hogan was before I got into wrestling. I was more of the Rock and Stone Cold guy. Hulk Hogan died at 71 years old. Isn't that mind-blowing? He lived a great life. I feel like when I first saw him wrestle, he was 71 years old. This guy was 71 for like 40 years. This dude was like, had that weird thing balding in the back of his head. He had the saggy boobs, the man boobs, the moobs. It just felt like Hulk Hogan was, if you would have asked me before he died, I would have been like, I don't know what, he's got to be pushing mid-80s. Then I hear he died 71 years old. I'm like, I feel like bro's been 75 for like 75 years. Crazy. It's our last show in July. Oh, this is what I wanted to talk to you about. So I'm going to make a video for Instagram actually, but I just will touch on it real quick. So one thing that, and I didn't put it on the list because I do feel like it was particular to me more so than me and a few other people. Like, you know what's cool and underappreciated and underrated? Breathing is cool. Breathing is fucking cool. Being able to breathe when you run, being able to breathe when you sleep, when you work out, when you're just living and walking and working and doing anything. So it's funny that I didn't realize how bad my breathing was. Like you hear that? That is a constant state of my life. And I don't think I realized how bad it was until I saw an ad for it. They're like, do you constantly breathe like this? And then they go someone like that. And I was like, yeah, man, motherfucker, that's my whole life. They're like, Yeah, that's not normal. That is not that's not how you should be quote unquote breathing. And then they pull out this thing. They're these two like magnetic strips. And I was like, look, I'll be honest, it took me a few times to see it before I was like took it serious. I was like, I don't know who these guys are they serious? Whatever, blah, blah, blah. Well, then I order it just for shits and gigs. And I was like, you know what? Let's just give it a shot. Let's just see all this. Because what it looked like before and after, they would go, and then they put it on. It opens, literally, it's two magnets. And then you put the little strip on. It opens up your like passage, your nasal passage. And you're suddenly like, it's so simple. It's like, it seems like such a simple concept. You're like, what if we just pull them apart like this and make the nostrils bigger? And it worked. Folks, I slept. I was like, I even felt kind of cold. I was like, my throat is cold. I was like, is this what it's supposed to feel like? I went for a run, felt fantastic other than the heat. But I was like, holy shit. I was talking to my friend Eddie. I was like, Eddie, you know what's cool, bro? Breathing is cool. Being able to like, I was walking around and I felt superior. I was like, turns out this is just what everybody feels like normally. So if you're one of these people who's like, if you breathe like this, not normal, not good. But breathing is damn cool. It is so cool. I wish I could wear one 24/7. They're not that expensive, but I'm just like, I still got to feel it out. But I don't know if I'm ever going to go back to not wearing these things. I was wearing it. I went to TJ Maxx. I went to Target. I went to Walmart. I had to run some errands. I went to a few other places with my family. I was like, I'm wearing this shit. I was like, you know what? Y'all don't go through what I'm going through. I'm wearing this. They're all embarrassed. I got a big black strip across my nose, and they're like, who does this guy think he is? He's a fucking football player? He thinks he's going to hit the gridiron? He thinks he's playing in the Hall of Fame game? No, breathing is cool. I'm like, you like guys who can breathe, baby girl? I'm your guy right here. Don't mind the little black thing on my nose. But breathing's awesome. Let's wrap it up with this. I just want to bring up the fact that today's July 31st. We launched this podcast on, I want to say it was August 31st or September 1st. Some ways one of those. But we're getting ready to come up on our 2-year anniversary. 1 month. And it's cool. I don't have anything to say other than thank you. And I'm going to find a way to thank you for that, for supporting and loving. And when I left my job, and remember, I quit, so I couldn't really fall back. I didn't have I couldn't go on do unemployment or do anything like that. You get that when you get fired. When I quit, I was like, yeah, I got nothing to fall back on. Started this and 2 years in, and it's just cool. So we'll talk more about that as we get closer to it. But 1 month from being 2 years into this shit, and what a learning experience. So just thank you for being part of the journey. Let's go ahead and wrap it up with a little late night trivia. All right, here we go. Listen to this. 19% of Americans say they still get nervous or anxious when they do this. 19% of Americans say they still get nervous or anxious when they do this. It's a totally normal thing. A lot of people do it daily. It has to do with speaking. Think about it. You know the drill. Pause me if you need some more time to think about the answer. But 19% of Americans say they still get nervous doing this. Ordering at a drive-thru. Low key, I get it. And I'm a public speaker. I love speaking to people and everybody. But there's just something, I saw a video recently this girl made. It was hilarious. And she was talking about, she's like getting anxious when you order at a new place. And they're like, can I get the number 6? They're like, do you want it grilled or baked? And I was like, I'm sorry, I don't know. And it's just it's hilarious. But 90% of Americans still get nervous ordering at a drive-thru in some way, shape, or form. I totally get it. And that's hilarious. So I think a lot of you guys, that one's going to resonate with a lot of you guys. Y'all be good. Remember, please like and subscribe on our Spotify. You can leave a comment on Apple, wherever you listen. I just always mention those two because those are the two main platforms. I think about 80 to 85% of our downloads come from those. But there's people who listen on Alexa. There's people who listen on the web. There's people who listen on iHeart or wherever it is that you listen. Please hit that subscribe button. Same with YouTube. subscribe, like, leave a comment, whatever it is that you got to do. Please follow us on our socials at ILY Say It Back Pod. I am at Victy Radio. Until next week, I love you. Say it back. Enjoy. Remember, football is back today. Football's back today, and then it's gone again until September 4th, I believe. Eagles, Cowboys, whenever that is. I love y'all. Have a great night. Sleep good. I love you. Mwah. Peace.